Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Live here from Khaleej Times HQ. We are here with a star-studded cast of Pakistani film Parey Love over here. Now, it's been a weekend of entertainment for a lot of Pakistani film stars and for the fans themselves to meet their stars here in Dubai itself. So now it's time to meet them and for you guys to send in your questions to us. And we've got Ambika and David Light from Khaleej Times will be answering the questions. So let's welcome the stars over here to your left of the screen, and to our right will be Ahmed Ali Butt, followed by Asim Raza, who's the director, Shahriar Munawar, and then we have Maya Ali and Zara Nur Abbas. Good afternoon to you guys and welcome to Khaleej Times. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
so much.
There we go.
So it's a huge privilege for us to sit down with the star cast of a movie which is creating so much buzz on social media right now.
Mashallah.
Yeah. I know we've all watched the trailers and the gorgeous location, the huge colorful sets, everything is just very awe-inducing. So my question would be to you, Asim. I mean, as in, when you have a movie which looks typically like a big fat desi movie,
Right.
yeah, because it's a formula which has worked very well in, I think, the industries across the border. So how do you ensure that it's something different for the audience, or how challenging was it for you, per se, to create something which is spectacular?
Yeah, so thank you very much, Ambika, for you to actually noticing all the little details that you just mentioned. The challenge is actually to get noticed. Yeah, like you just mentioned, obviously the bigger the big fat traditional looking film is, the more challenging and difficult is to make yourself heard and stand up and look not part of the clutter. So what we have done is that we have tried to add some essence and some substance to it. So it would not just be a frothy entertainer. It would have layers, it would have substance, it would have values, it would have all the right ingredients which once you get done with the film and get home, you would be carrying something with you after watching the film.
And how do locations play into that? I heard you filmed in Istanbul, is that right?
We did, yes.
6 different locations.
So,
and you want to try and show off a bit of Pakistan as well, I imagine?
so a lot of Pakistan.
Yeah.
We have tried to show off a lot of Pakistan actually.
And what was the criteria?
Yes, and obviously then there is Istanbul as well. The idea was to obviously follow the track of the story that was written by Imran Aslam. And the story demanded us actually to move from one place to the other. I think it's the beauty of a story which is so well written that a film, when is made on that story, looks like a wholesome film. So the credit goes to the writer who actually came up with a storyline which demanded us to move from one place to the other. And I think now when I look at it, I actually am so inspired and impressed by the visionary, which is Imran Aslam, that he could see how from one palette to the other, it'll help us to keep changing our venues as well.
And where were your favorite places to film?
To shoot.
To shoot, yeah.
That's a tough one.
Mine is Bhawanpur, and we shooted there for a good 20-25 days because we were all together there.
Yeah.
So I had a great time with my family of Parey Love.
I think Muzaffarabad was very special for me because it was Kashmir. It was the first time I was visiting Kashmir. And I think it's also, and then beyond Muzaffarabad, we went to Pir Chinasi.
Yes.
I think.
This is all of Pakistan.
Yeah.
I've been twice.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you've been to Pakistan? Wonderful.
Oh, which parts of
What
Pakistan?
part?
Lahore and Karachi.
I'm
and,
from Lahore.
Islamabad. But this isn't about me.
So I guess for me, Kashmir was my favorite part. Zara, you were saying?
Yeah, the northern parts. They were beautiful. I've never ever been there, and I've heard that it was. I had heard it was beautiful, but the way Asim showed it in his film, it is miraculously beautiful. I have to say.
What about you, Alva?
Bahawalpur all the way.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the most beautiful hidden things of Pakistan, the culture, the
It's like
heritage.
Jaipur,
It's,
huh?
yeah, it's like our Jaipur. So I love Bahawalpur.
Shahriar, you play, for you it's a challenging role because you're an actor as well as a producer on the set. So after the movies...
Oh, wow. What question?
So which one did you find the most challenging while on the sets?
On the sets, I would say balancing the two was the most challenging, because being in a scene where you have to be all lovey-dovey, or you have to, the scenes where I had to be fighting with my co-actors within the scene, those were the best, because I was doing came naturally because I was doing the same thing as soon as we used to call cut. But the parts where you have to be, you're supposed to be romancing on screen, and as soon as you call cut, and then all of a sudden you have to switch hats and get into a different kind of a role, those were the tough parts. Individually, I would say I didn't find any of them problematic, because again, like Asim always says, it's about the team. Asim being the co-producer with me on this, Asim being the director, I think made it very easy for me to do both my jobs.
Actually, for both, like for all of us.
Yeah.
He made it easy for all of us.
I've read that there are similarities to Four Weddings and a Funeral. Is that true? Is it inspired by that, or is it?
So yeah, sorry, yeah, you can. No. All right. So yes, no, I would say yes and no. Yes, because this was supposed to be a classic rom-com, a comedy film which is very romantic, or a romantic film which has comic moments to it. So inspirations had to be taken. And a lot of classic romantic comedies were in Imran's head as well, and I shared a few as well. The most obvious one, that's why people spell it out more, is because this film also has 4 weddings. So it ended up looking similar or sounding similar. But when you watch the film, you'd realize that that's the only similarity. Otherwise, the arcs are very different. The character arcs are different, and how the story flows from one point to the other is very different from the classic 4 weddings and a funeral.
Fantastic. Yeah. How would you each describe your characters?
Well, I'll take the lead since I'm standing here. Okay. So my character, her name is Shabo. She is a filmy girl from a small town area, and she wants to pursue her her dreams. I and Shabo really relate a lot because we both wanted to act and dance. And why not if in Asim's film?
Yeah.
I think that's what I loved about her. She's very naive about her choices in life. She's in love with someone, but she cannot tell them on the face. But that's for you to watch in the film, inshallah.
And my character name is Sania, and I think there are some similarities between myself, Maya, and Sania. So that was not that much difficult for me to play Sania. And Sania is cool, Sania is beautiful, Sania is mature. She knows the value of her family, and she loves her father. You will get to know all about it when you watch this film.
Yeah. So my character name in the film is Shariar. Surprise, surprise. So that should answer most of the questions. I feel a lot of the issues within the character faces are issues that I've faced in my life. He's a struggling actor who has big dreams and wants to be a film star. He's a big commitment phobe, not only with love but generally everything. He likes sweeping things under the rug. And he lives with 2 of his best friends, Arshad and Shabo, who all want to make films together. And life's going all well, running away from commitment, until he runs into the beautiful Sania. And that's where he has to choose between whether he wants to stay a commitment phobe or whether he's going to choose to fall madly in love.
Wow.
What did you
What a
choose?
choice.
Well, my character, I'm playing a typical Karachi wannabe director who exploits his friends, and he knows that his best friend wants to be an actor, but I'm always exploiting the situation. So I'm trying to maneuver him into some very odd workplaces. And
Mindset.
Yeah, mindset. But in a way, when Maya character enters their life, he's a bit of he's a bit on the defensive end also, because he doesn't want to share him in a certain way. And it's all about his insecurity and how that friendship factor takes place when you'll see the movie, and when Zara character commits suicide in the end. So that
No way!
Oh my God! You can't tell that. Oh my God!
Oh my God. Oh my
That's
God.
so sad. Oh my
Actually,
God! Did you just
we
say
have
that?
Spoiler!
Yeah.
Oh
Asa, what
my
about your
God.
character in the film?
Yeah, actually,
Oh my God! He said that. Why? No.
my character in the film was very loose.
That's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Shahriar, you play, I mean, you share the screenplays with, you share the screen space with two gorgeous women, of course, and then you had the spectacularly pretty Mahira Khan dancing for you. So how was it?
Oh! You can imagine, right? I mean,
I don't know if she can imagine, but so he can imagine.
yeah. So it was like, but yeah. So it was again. No, but no, that's not it. I also shared the screen with Sonia Jahan.
Oh yes, yes.
I also shared the screen with Meera ji within the same film. So it's a Sybil. So within the same film, I got to romance Maya Ali. I got to romance Mahira Khan. I got to romance for a second Sonia Jahan.
I was romancing Ahmed Ali Bhatt as well. I must give a spoiler as well.
And I was romancing Ahmed Ali Bhatt as well. So you can imagine how busy I was throughout the film.
Naya Pakistan.
Naya Pakistan. No, but it was both scary and entertaining and fun at the same time. Scary because being able to share the screen with such big names is always scary. But I hope I did well, Asim.
Well, I hope so too.
I have yet to see the film.
Yeah, exactly.
8th August, that's when you find out.
Yes.
You have very strong, I'm sorry, you have very strong background in television, all of you, and now when you come onto the big screen, how do you find the transformation? Do you think the big screen offers you that much of a scope to kind of get into the depth of your character?
I think Maya is the perfect one to answer this question. Because you've done the most amount of television out of all of us.
Yeah, I think as an actor there was not kind of experimental for me to come on big screen, but definitely films are larger than life and we have to act according to the film things. So when I was doing a scene with him, so I remember I was taking a lot of time. Like मुझे आँखें नीचे से ऊपर लेकर जानी थी. So but credit goes to Asim. He trained me in that way. He trained me in that way. Okay, you have to act like a star. You have to act like a Sania, who is very confident and all. I said, okay, I hope that I did justice with Sania.
You did, you did. But it's just that she was going on 50 frames per second, and I told her
I
go on
always wanted to
24
do a
frames per second, and she
always
did,
wanted
and
to
she
do a
did it
film.
wonderfully. Yes.
But you were a star on the small screen and you were a star on the big screen.
Absolutely.
That's what I taught him.
Good.
I've learned well,
Good
huh?
teacher.
Just another word on those cameo appearances. They could be quite big names and stuff. How important are they for a film like this?
Well, honestly speaking, for me, it's very, very important that those small scenes, which are important and that's why they're there, should be done by people who make them also memorable. Otherwise, a lot of times you see very important scenes coming in, but just because people don't, especially in India and Pakistan, it's a lot more relevant, that people miss out on a completely unknown face, even though that one line that he's delivering is supposed to be a turning point in the film. So I try to pick and choose, and I'm lucky that I get a chance to request people and they kind of come and help me, that every sentence in the film should make sense to people, and that's why I needed that.
If Asim was to give somebody a call, I don't know if they're going to be like, Asim, let me think about it.
That's not the
question.
question.
The process is quite easy. People just.
By the way, has anybody ever said no to you?
Has there anyone ever said no?
Why you say?
No.
There you go.
Oh,
No, Mayo.
Maybe
That
I
was the
know
first
that.
time Khaleej have ever caught this. Oh my god. Breaking
Do
news.
one little bit
Okay.
here. In this
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh no.
Following on from
I'm
what
with
you
best
just said now, Fawad Khan has a very deep dialogue at the end of the trailer that we saw where he says, "Kamyabi ka usool hai, logon ko maza karao,
Jeena mat
jeena
sikhao."
mat sikhao."
Yes.
So could you explain that?
To be honest, when you see the film, you'd understand it better, what is the context of that statement. But for me, it's a social commentary. What we're going through right now is this struggle between, if I may call it, substantial cinema and commercial cinema. And while we all are trying our ways of bringing the two together, we constantly are reminded by a few of our friends that no, it has to be more commercial because film is an expensive medium today, and a lot of investment goes into it. And then because we have such little amount of outlets in the name of cinemas, that we are not able to do our things our way and still break even, forget about profit on it, and getting profit on it. So the way Fawad is saying it, we are actually trying to remind ourselves that are we on the right track? Is this what we're supposed to do with cinema?
I think it's
That's
also been
the whole idea.
cathartic.
It is cathartic, for sure. Yeah.
That was kind of following on from that. Pastor, you're probably best placed to answer, but you could all chip in. From starting off with commercials in sort of the mid-90s, how have you seen the development of the Pakistani entertainment sphere? I mean, has it been an upward trajectory? Has there been slowdowns?
Obviously,
Where are we now
yeah,
today?
the hiccups, constant hiccups, but the good part is this progress has been pretty steady.
Okay.
You know, lately, the good thing is that it's not just, you know, I must confess that Shoaib Mansoor was the first one who came up all by himself and decided to make a film, which was a little different than the kind of films which are being made at that time. But since then, we're lucky to have every few months a new person coming in and saying, okay, so I shall also give you support. Okay, so it's my turn, it's my shoulder. So, and this is how industries are made around the world. And if we keep doing this and we keep supporting each other instead of cutting down each other, I don't see any reason we'll be in a very good place, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you so much. Would you have a message for all your fans out there watching you right now?
Yes.
Yeah, we have so much
Please,
to say.
So many messages.
When
Eid
you are
August.
watching our film, let it be
For the
film
50th
this
time.
Eid,
Yeah.
inshallah. Please don't make mobile videos. It really
Yeah,
hurts
that's
the
very
film.
Oh, wow.
It's a
Brilliant,
humble
Evan.
request.
Brilliant.
So
Brilliantly
a
put.
lot of people, what they do is they go Facebook Live in a cinema.
Don't do that.
Number one, it's a crime. Okay? Number two, you're spoiling the film. So please don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those of you who just got an idea, forget what you just heard. Okay.
And we follow.
And I
Last
just
time we were.
Ahmad shall be watching you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ये होता है.
and I think I genuinely want to say Eid Mubarak from the team of Parey Love.
Yes.
Farhad loves
And
family.
Oh, Parey.
We've been telling each other that
You're
the
the
entire day.
spokesperson
Family,
of the
we're a
family now,
family.
you're not just on your own.
Yeah. So for the Parey Love family, Eid Mubarak to all of you and Asim. Our film is coming out when?
8th of August,
For the
which
GCC
is
countries?
obviously Eid season for all the GCC countries. Please go, enjoy yourself, and make this Eid a bigger and happier moment in your lives.
So Eid Mubarak to all of you.
Eid Mubarak.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much.